All right, so I'm here today. I'm doing basically a camping trip for my naturalist course. And so, to give you some perspective, the course I'm taking is to become a certified California naturalist. And so far, it's been really fun. The main focus is on looking at documenting wildlife, be it plant, animal, fungi, whatever, and also, observing it and taking the time to sort of get to know whatever you're working with, be it like your land or an ecosystem or just a new place, and sort of to log all that you're learning in a field journal. So I don't have my field journal on me because I'm just going exploring around the dunes a bit. But yeah, I'm really excited about today, and I might show you around. Part of the activities are generally to get more connected with nature, which kind of means probably no electronics, probably no filming. But whatever I can, I'll just show you what I'm up to today and tomorrow, because it's sort of a 2 day thing. I was gonna get here last night, and then I was just lazy and unprepared, and I even ordered groceries at 11 p.m. That's a really bad idea, but I was really unprepared. But I made it on time. I'm only missing like a ground pad, which is pretty bad, but hopefully someone has an extra. And yeah, I'm literally filming. Like, my rest right here was this. It was literally the thing. Oh, sorry, I might have been a little loud. It was literally the thing on a tree, which is so cool that I'm able to. Nature is my tripod. Let's go. So you can look out again. Very cool, very cool. All right, there she is. The sun's peeking over the horizon. Let's go. Good morning. Okay. I think I hear the ocean just up ahead, which is actually really cool. Um, so you may be wondering, why am I here? Like, why do you actually take field trips? And that is a great question. Part of it is just we need to be able to put what we learn in class to the test in the wild, so to speak, and practice the sort of, you know, what we're doing for documentation, what we're doing for identifying plants and animals, what we're doing for, just basically gaining an appreciation of the nature. And I think the other thing is just trying to get a sense of, look at these fronds, of like interconnectedness in a way between natures and humans, because really we are connected, and really we're in nature, but we've kind of, lost that sort of sense. So that's part of the goal of the course there. And I think this trail might lead me to the ocean, which is pretty exciting. Oh, we came up across a road. That's kind of funny. All right, well, I'll see you there maybe. I just found some really pretty flowers on the side of the road. I have no idea what these are, frankly, but they look very pretty, like the different red and yellow. It's in this nice sort of bush form. So I'm gonna keep following the road, and I think the ocean's out that way. Oh my god! Look at all the birds. Here, I'll zoom in. Oh my god, they're coming! They're coming! Oh my gosh. They're going out to the ocean. Alright, there's the ocean. Nature's my tripod once again. Okay, let's see if you can see me here. Alright, so sun rises that way, which is pretty cool. The next thing I wanted to mention is that we are in Bodega Dunes Campground, and this is sort of this beach area where these dunes have formed over time. It's at the bottom of the watershed because the ocean is out that way, and a watershed is kind of like what is it? Just sort of like one of our field trips, for example, was going from the headwaters, like where the water kind of originates, down, through a creek, out into the Russian River, out into the ocean. Really the estuary where the salt water and the fresh water mix, and then out into the ocean. So that's where I am right now. I'm at this campground and we're staying for the night. Today we're going tide pooling, which I am super excited about because I love tide pooling and just going exploring and seeing the animals and the rocks. So if I find anything cool, I will probably film it for you. Um, Otherwise, I guess what I wanted to mention was basically that I really love this course so far. But also, I really love the people here. And part of the reason why I love the people is because they are so welcoming and kind and really just super engaged and willing to learn about nature itself. Which, frankly, a lot of my experience so far has been in this sort of computer science, engineering type realms. And people are really smart and passionate there as well about technology. But this is cool just to be able to know, people that are can identify all these different plant species and all the different birds and know a lot about California geology and history and so many of these other really cool topics that I haven't been exposed to enough, which is part of the reason why I started this naturalist course. And I'm really excited for this sort of camping aspect too. I think we're having a potluck tonight, which is really exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'll probably go to the ocean and I'll head back to the campsite. So see you then. Break the grip of the rip, everyone. This stuff is actually really important. So swim parallel to the shore if you get caught in a rip current, pretty much. So just want to point that out for those of you who aren't necessarily beachgoers. It's like we're crossing the path into another dimension. And that other dimension is the ocean. Wait, close repairs? Oh, okay, that's just that thing. Yo! Here we are. So beautiful. Yeah, I love the ocean. It's just one of those like look at how far, you can't even see the end of it, and then it goes way farther than you can even see, all the way out into the horizon. So it looks like today is going to be a really nice day out on the water. There's a lot of driftwood on shore and these shells, I guess. I don't know what that is all there, but it goes all the way down there. And yeah, I'm gonna check out, what is this? What is all this? I am so confused with all this stuff is. Is it like sea glass or something? That's so weird. I've got no clue. We're going tide pooling. Let's go. They have forts over there. That's so cool. They got forts. Right. Supposedly these are all jellyfish, all the way down there, all the way up there. And they have these they're white or blue and they're alive. And they have these cool sails. I'll pick it up and show you when my hand is free. That they use to just sort of skim along the surface and click things. They won't sting you though, so let's show you something. So there we go. Really cool. Never seen them before. I have nothing like that in the beaches where I'm from. So yeah, awesome. Learning more about this area, which is really cool. So it looks like we got a lot of kelp here or something. And there's also this other green stuff and then some barnacles. Hello, buddies. We might have found something over there, maybe. Maybe not. Let's look in our first tide pool. Oh, my shadow's covering it. Let's see. And I don't know. Do you see anything there? There's something right there. What is that? That looks very pretty. Cool. Found my first sea star. Oh, buddy. It's like half It's like half submerged into the sand, which is kind of crazy. Wow, I have tennis shoes on. They're gonna get wet. Oopsies. My shadow is kind of covering it, but I think that's an enemy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm really wondering what this is right here. This like moss looking thing on the side of all these rocks. It's pretty interesting. I wonder what it is. Oh, those little baby anemones. Tiny. Okay, look at this lovely specimen. We got a crab mold shell, I think. Oh, the water's coming. But yeah, that's so cool. Just hiding up here. That's awesome. People over there are tide pooling. Let's keep going. Alrighty, so I'm gonna be walking down these sand dunes, so it might be a little shaky, but today, I finished up today. You might have just seen footage of tide pooling, which was really fun. I didn't see a ton, but I saw crab molt and anemones and what else did I see? There was a nudibranch there. I didn't catch it on film, but it was pretty cool. This like bright orange color. Basically, one of the things that we talked about at the Bodega hole, whatever, is where they drilled a hole to start a nuclear power plant. And it turns out that in the 60s, I think, PG&E and General Electric and UC Berkeley and the other geologists there were in the pocket of big money, right? And they were trying to build a nuclear reactor. And actually PG&E and the other companies are trying to do that all around the world. And it turns out that, plate tectonics wasn't a huge thing yet. So although they were near the San Andreas Fault, not everyone knew that it was an issue. However, as the construction was being built, they realized that some other geologists outside of the company realized that the San Andreas Fault could pose huge issues because it's A, right there, like within range of a huge earthquake potentially, and B, it's also, there's potential for tsunami. And as we know in the past, the tsunamis could go in and because the reactor's next to the ocean, take it out, cause nuclear waste. So interestingly, this was one of the main movements towards the start of the environmental movement in the Bay. And they had a couple of really interesting strategies. One of them, it was hilarious. Apparently, they just went into the office where PG&E worked, and they found that, surprise, surprise, they mistook the person. They gave them the plans. Turns out that they were drilling directly on a fault line. And this fault line could be very dangerous because it could destroy the power plant in an earthquake. And the other thing is, once they walked up and then another geologist or another scientist community member literally saw the fault line and said, it's right there. So they proved that it was there. And then finally, after the city hall where the experts said, oh, there's nothing wrong, which erupted into chaos, basically what was next? Right. That they had this campaign where they send up balloons. They would fly into the atmosphere and they'd land in these ranchers' places, sometimes as far down as Oakland. And it said, this is the radioactive compound from the nuclear power plant that could shut down or could fail, right? And so that ended the power plant once and for all, pretty much. And yeah, really interesting story, but it's pretty cool to hear about like different environmental movements of the past and, compare it to what we have going today. So that was really interesting.
Often when there's like crossing trails, there'll be tons of poo of like from all different kinds of animals because they're announcing their presence at where the trails cross.
Where they meet, yeah.
Trails.
Yeah.
Little shell. But then crazy how the tracks
The
just
ones
keep
that
going.
have, we were told we were going.
You can mount them and you can finish them a lot. I know that sometimes, teachers can order them online, wrapped up in a tinfoil.
So it looks like this is the cypress tree. And then the roots go underground. And look at how far out they go. All the way out there. That's like at least 20 feet. That's crazy.
There's a little tree frog just kind of hopping about the tops of the. Oh, it's so
I see
small.
Alrighty, so just to wrap things up, those past few videos that you just watched were when I went tide pooling and when I went tracking. So tracking was in the actual Bodega Dunes, and tide pooling was just along the coast nearby. And I extremely enjoyed both of those. It's really cool to like go and look for things and use a different part of your brain that you don't normally use. And so the next thing that we did that night and the day before was learning about birds. So, oh shoot, you can't hear birds right now from my room. But basically they have 5 types of calls, which are companionship, male-to-male aggression, song, the babies that need to be fed, and then territory, so marking their territory. So you can look those up if you want. I'm a little too lazy to edit them all in. But, you know, what I wanted to wrap up on was to give a gift to you. Now, you may not have been there to experience the entire Naturalist course like I have over the course of the past couple of months, but there is something that I'd like to show you. So, this is a blue marble, and it represents our Earth. You know, our Earth is mostly water, which is kind of a crazy fact to think about, right? When you think about how much of a stretch of land it is. And what this means is that we are so much more connected to water than you would have ever expected, you know, between not only just our drinking water, but for recreation, for all of our food that comes from the ocean, for all of those reasons for sailing and exploring, and you know, the circulation and the atmosphere that causes weather, a whole bunch of different beautiful things from the water that we have on Earth. So, as my final parting words for this video, I wanted to, in spirit, give you this blue marble. Here you go, Bob. And it's yours to keep because it's a good reminder of just spreading that knowledge with other people and spreading the joy that we have surrounding all of our bodies of water and water in our atmosphere and everywhere that keeps life going, right? And that was derived from a book called, I forget the name, Planet Blue, something like that. You can look up the Blue Marble Project with it. And with that, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you later. Bye.